You do not know me,
You most certainly know me.
but have perhaps heard of me,
The entire globe knows me,
or my children.
and my novels.
I have 9 children.
Nicholas Nickleby, Oliver Twist,
They do not live with me.
Hard Times, Bleak House,
They do not live with me anymore.
and my newest, Great Expectations.
9 bodies I nursed, held.
Stories. It's how I earn my living.
9 human beings I tended to in illness.
I must work. I have 9 children.
9 pairs of arms to hug. 9 happy smiles.
9 bodies to feed and clothe.
He kept the house
Educate, socialize.
and moved me to this one.
A legal requirement. Children belong with their fathers.
Dust motted, strange smelling,
For the record, I did not request 9 of them.
rented and pre-furnished.
Do you realize what it costs to feed them all? Good God.
I was long used to being alone.
The price of their gowns and suits, and they keep growing.
But back then, alone meant women's things, afternoon teas and music parties.
I'm certain the children prefer it this way.
While he passed long hours in his study. We did not mind, though, the children and I. Works of genius, everyone said.
We have visitors.
One day, a package arrived,
Ellen, Miss Turner, visits often.
and until that day, I sang while I sewed.
I call her Nellie.
In it was a bracelet, not meant for me.
It was never right, our marriage.
Now alone means separated. Well, that is what he calls us.
She, Kate, was never right for me.
Which also means separated from all of one's friends, were his friends, just as everything else was his.
Anyone could see.
What I have always disliked about his novels.
I will not betray her, but
Are,
let us say
are
that
they-
there were serious concerns about Kate's wellness.
are the heroines
What could I do?
shallow, not very intelligent?
What light she's brought into my life. I mean, Nellie.
And always beautiful.
Have I mentioned that she's an actress?
Their whole entire being wrapped around a man,
I'm rather good at theatricals myself.
as was mine.
We have theatrical parties at my house,
He kept the house
attended by London's most important men.
and moved me into this one.
They all adore her. I mean, Nellie.
It's not a small house, and now with many empty rooms.
The children adore her too.
Sometimes I wander into them and listen to the echo my own voice makes.
As for Kate, well,
I gaze at the walls that separate me from everything once part of my life.
she signed the document and nobody forced her.
Occasionally, I study the wallpaper.
I thought it best to have my attorney present.
Artificial blossoms, shepherds with their lambs.
A marriage separation ought to be legal.
And at night, I dream about our wedding
Kate understood.
and my bouquet.
Kate understood what was required of her.
A posy of roses and myrtle,
The children understood too. I'm certain of it.
wrapped in white silk with taffeta.
We do not prevent them from seeing her. Good grief.
Symbolizing innocence and faithfulness.
She is their mother.
After we wed, he kissed me.
We do not prevent them, but we do not encourage them.
While I held my flowers.
Kate agreed, naturally.
Veil lifted, eyes upon him.
A mother wants what is best for her children.
The maidens gathered, hoping to catch them.
You must meet Nellie. She's adorable.
blossoms meant purity and constancy and love.
Well, I don't see much of Kate these days. How could I?
They stood there waiting with outstretched hands.
At home, we do not speak of it.
For the flowers, meaning innocence and faithfulness and hope.
We do not speak of it anymore.
He kissed me and I threw my bouquet away like this.
Hi. So we did say last week, neither of you were there, were you? That if actors then turn off their cameras at the end, then it's a clear signal to us without scripts that it's the end. Okay, fabulous. That's it, Sarah. Get that down, you. It's all right. You're the biggest picture on my screen as well. There's me with a glass of water. I'm doing this wrong. Fantastic. Well done, guys. Is there any feedback, anything that you'd say to Jennifer?
I really like the way that it was a conversation without being a conversation, because obviously they're both sort of having their own sort of perspectives on things. And I like the way it's sort of married together without being like, it was very clear that they both had their own sort of viewpoints, but the overlap was really nice. So yeah, I really like the way it was written.
I agree with Mimi.
Yeah. So the sort of separate conversations. And then
yeah, it's like monologues sort of intertwining and sort of, yeah.
Mike's English accent.
Better than Dick Van Dyke's.
There you go.
Ah, good. I didn't create an international incident.
Anyone is. Anyone is.
We all need to learn off each other, don't we?
No, I would say that I really enjoyed the how this play, in very few words, is able to create two different distinct characters and have them talking without talking to each other. It was very well done.
I mean, I think that's what we've all found really with shorts. The economy of words just makes them so much more valuable, doesn't it? And they say things so much more succinctly. Are you ready to, sorry?
I was just going to say that I think in a way the medium suited that piece. You know, it was the disconnect and the disjointedness, sort of distance between them that was painful and poignant. And it worked well on this medium.
It really did, didn't it? Because it was like he was personally talking to you, and then Kate was as well.
I just want to
Fantastic.
say, just very briefly, I loved it. I'm a Victorianist. I loved the way that it was both very period, but also really modern. I think it did that really, really well.
I'm jotting all this down because I will give them this feedback. Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Also, I just want to say, obviously Dickens, it must have felt a bit like that in his life, because he was so probably absorbed in his own work and everything, and the volume of work he produced, it must have felt like they were in their own worlds, you know, and she was sidelined, you know, in their lives.
Oh yeah, very much.
Must have had some attraction. They did have 10 kids, so.